Yo, what up, people? Yo, what is good, everybody? It is CalebBlackFlash, and I will be coming out with my first ever Disney Speedstorm tier list. This tier list will be going over season 10, as all the characters in the game are out. So, what better time to put out a tier list than the day before season 11, the incredible season? So, shoot, let's jump right in here to it. But yeah, I will be grading these characters off of four different categories. The first category would be top speed. The second category will be invulnerability. The third category will be boost management or pull away potential, and then the fourth will be combat. So I'm taking in all of those different variables. I'll be putting the characters on the tier list based on that, and just want to give a different look from a kind of like a competitive player perspective. But yeah, let's get right into it. So firstly, let's start in F tier. Now when it comes to F tier, I'll probably have to we gotta put King Candy there. Think about King Candy, he's just way too slow. He has like no combat. He doesn't really have protection. Yeah, he's just the worst character in the game. So yeah, we all knew King Candy's gonna be there. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to like F tier, I think King Candy literally is the only character in the F tier. I think a character that could be an F tier could be Minnie Mouse, but the thing about Minnie Mouse is she does have some good protection. So speaking of that, I will put Minnie Mouse there. She's also slow. Doesn't really have boost management like that. I think she's a brawler. The brawler class is kind of weak, but she does have that protection, and it does come in clutch on like tracks that have high handling. All right, next we'll go with Jessie. We'll put her in D tier. The thing about Jessie, her abilities are just causing blocks on the track. But there's a lot of characters that have like cloak. There's a lot of characters that have shield or autos. It's just like you can kind of get past the blocks. Like it's not really that much of an issue. I know if there's like a lobby of like 8 Jessies, it could be a problem. But she just doesn't have really like any like pull away potential, and her boost management's relying on people hitting blocks. Just not consistent enough for me. So yeah, I'll put her in D tier. The next character in D tier. Will probably be Mulan. Now Mulan handles really well, but I think the thing about her, she's a lightweight, not very fast. Her rockets are good. You can aim them, you can shoot them behind you, and it can home in on some people. But she just doesn't really have much protection. She doesn't have boost management. She's kind of slow. But she's alright. And here's the thing: what people got to realize while I'm doing this tier list, like just if a character is like a D or C, like just because they're in the maybe not S tier doesn't mean they're like bad characters per se. I just want to get that out there. But you can still win with a D tier or F tier. It might be a little harder and take more skill, but it's possible. All right, next. Above Mulan, I'll probably put Disgust. Disgust does have some utility. She has a lot of broccoli. She can summon on the obstacles on the track. Probably more obstacles than Jessie, which is why I have her above Jessie. And I think she just has more versatility. But the issue with Disgust is she's just slow. She's slow, but she can get the broccoli on the track, and the broccoli can't really be annoying. So, but I still have to put her in D tier. Now above Disgust, let's put I'll put Eve. Now the reason I have Eve over all of these characters because Eve is a defender, so she does have a little bit of that boost management in the pack. But then she also does have protection with her shield. I think she gets a shield ability with her being a defender. But the issue with Eve is just her charge bullets. They're not accurate. I hate how when you're shooting, you can literally be right behind somebody, and then when you shoot, it can like go sideways or diagonal. just, you know, shooting everybody but your target. So that's annoying. And then two, her tap. You know, you're supposed to get 3 hits, but more often than not, the little red square that Eve summons in front of her sometimes doesn't activate. And you know, because of that, I kind of got to put her in the D tier. You know, she does, for a lightweight, have some decent speed. I think she got some top speed buffs, but you know, you know, she's D. She's D. Cloak is definitely more important than shield. But yeah, for the last character in D tier, gotta go with Hortensia. See, now Hortensia's gotten better. She got a speed increase and all of that. I think her flowers start to work a little bit more. The issue with Hortensia is her flowers are pretty much her only protection. So if she doesn't get it, she's screwed. So she's relying on item boxes. The flowers don't protect from trails. But you know, she's getting better. You know, she's moving up the tier list. I will say that is the thing that you know, her protection probably does put her at the top of D. But outside of that, not really too much going. She doesn't really have a boost management like that. That's consistent, and I don't think she has cloak. But yeah, but she's a speedster, and the speedsters have kind of moved up in the overall hierarchy of classes. Them being able to get rush and stuff in first, so that's why I put Hortensia over the rest of these characters. So that is F tier and D tier. So now let's move on to C tier. So for the first character in C tier, I'm gonna go with Mike. Now Mike, his issue, he's slow. He's very slow, and he's very gimmicky. So like there are some tracks, like certain variants of Kawaii and certain variants of Silver Screen, where if you put the door at the right place, he can kind of like shoot off hella fast, hella far. But outside of those specific tracks, he kind of struggles. His doors really don't send him that far. Also, his doors can be destroyed, something that he relies on. So outside of that, the only thing he has is like a boost item. But since he's slow, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, but I think the potential for the doors, I think, you know, kind of separate himself from the D tier. So that's why I have him in C. Okay, let's see. And then for the next character, well, hold on real quick. I want to make sure this is still going. Okay, yep, it's still going. For the next character in C tier, I'm probably gonna go with Anxiety. Anxiety actually has a lot of it's actually pretty decent, pretty good. Now when it comes to like top speed or like this tier list, a lot of the lightweights going to be in F, D, and C, because top speed is the most important stat in the game. And so because the lightweights don't have top speed, most of the lightweights will be in this area. Now if there's a lightweight in C, that doesn't mean they're bad. That actually means they're one of the higher tier lightweights, just so people understand that. But I think Anxiety getting the utility where she can get protection, she can get cloak, shield, boost, bomb, disc, all of that from her charge really comes in handy sometimes, because sometimes you need that extra boost or protection. I think being able to get rush helps Anxiety a lot. It has decent speed, and the tap is okay. Like in groups, you can get I think for team modes, Anxiety really goes crazy with the tap. But yeah, I think that's a good spot for Anxiety. Alright, the next I'll have to go with I have to go with Donald. Now Donald, he did get a speed boost, so that kind of boosted him up a little bit more. You know, whenever he uses his tap protection, he's able to, like, his boost doesn't drain as fast, so you can maintain. He has cloak. Yeah, he's pretty decent. The only issue is his shield gets destroyed by trails. So if you're like behind a meg or something like that, even if it's not like something that's like stunnable, it can still destroy your shield. So then sometimes it can mess up your boost management. But overall, I think he's gotten stronger I think the boost management and constant protection with the unique item, I think puts him above some of the other lightweights. So I'll put him there. The next one will be Daisy. Now I think Daisy is similar to Donald. I think she's just slightly better because one, she's a trickster, so she can side bash into people and get items. The fact that she only has to drift 2 times makes her boost management and her bubble a little bit easier. She gets like a power 5 disc. So yeah, and then also her, whenever her shield gets destroyed or if you charge her ability, the speed boost is a little bit faster or send you a little bit further than Donald. So because of that, I gotta put her above Donald. Alright, so for the next character, we got Wally. Now Wally, he doesn't really have the most protection, he just has shield. But I think him being able to maintain boost with his trash that he can summon on the track, I think is very useful, especially in teams. And in more than anything, his charge is probably the strongest, where he can charge his the fire hydrant, give him a speed boost that can give him speeds up to like 160, 70 miles an hour with with each with each rush. So even though he's a lightweight, there are like times if you get his unique a lot, you can actually keep up with some of the middleweights and heavyweights, as well as having cloak and boost. So yeah, Wally's actually really good. So that's why I have him there. Above Wally, I have Mickey. So Mickey actually got a speed increase, but I think the thing that makes Mickey good is one, he's a speedster, so he's able to get his rush all the time, and then also his unique gives him invulnerability and a speed boost. So just being able to like have a speed boost without draining your boost bar, having rush to get around corners and stuff, his speed increase, like Mickey actually is a good character. He can lake jump, he can, he's actually a really good lightweight. I think the only thing, it would be nice if he had cloak, because when you don't, if you're on a track that doesn't have a lot of item boxes, you will be exposed. And then also his trail, other people can benefit from it. So, but overall, really good lightweight, so put him in C tier. Alright, for the next character in C tier, I gotta go with Vanellope. Now Vanellope is actually really good. Like her abilities, if she was like a middle or heavyweight, she'd probably be S tier. But because she's so slow, it kind of deletes. It kind of makes her, I gotta put her in C. I will say her tap, her just having the invulnerability with the tap, I think makes her really good. She can avoid a lot of the nonsense from a lot of the characters. I like her charge rush because she's one that's invulnerable, and you can like lake jump and stuff, and it's kind of like a rush where you can like maintain boost if you jump. But yeah, I think the invulnerability, speed boost, she has bomb, fire. I think she has fire. She has a lot of good items. Really good racer, really good at handling. But she's just too slow. She's slow but has a lot of good abilities. So that's why I put her in C tier above Mickey and everybody else. Alright, so for the next character, which I love this character, it's one of my personal favorites, but we're gonna go with Lilo. Lilo is actually, you have to know how to use her, but if you can, if you can use her to her potential, she's actually really good. I think her tap, where she takes her pictures, if you're in a group, you can get a lot of top speed, and speed is very important in this game. So you can kind of like pull away from people with Lilo, even though she's lightweight. And then also she has a rush, which helps her like skip, jump, lake jump and all of that kind of stuff. And then her auto is super slow, to be honest. It's, I wish it was faster, 160. It only goes like 120-ish maybe, maxed out. But it is clutch for like those tight turns and a lake jump, and you can lake jump with her auto. So Lilo actually, like on certain tracks, or like if you need to get around a turn, like at the cherry bombs, like Lilo actually can, be at the top on tracks that have auto exploit potential. So that's why I got Lilo there. I think her auto potential puts her above the other lightweights. Now above Lilo, I'm gonna go with Meg. Thing about Meg, she makes her good is she just always has boost. She has the boost item. She has an ability that gives her boost, and the ability that gives her boost also gives her protection. So she can kind of just stay ahead of everybody, kind of blind them a little bit and get boosts, and just she's able to just hold and maintain. I think she got a speed boost. So just being able to be invulnerable, having boost, having good handling, having some decent speed for a lightweight. Yeah, you got to put it there. She's definitely one of the solid lightweights. Now above Meg, we're gonna put Fear. Now Fear is actually slept on. He's a defender, so one, he'll get boost that way, but then he also has like his tap ability that gives him 3 charges of protection, so he can get hit 3 times, and each time he gets hit or hits an obstacle, he can rush. So that can come in clutch, especially if there's a track with a lot of obstacles on, or somebody's putting a lot of stuff on the track. But then his charge is really where it's good, because you potentially, if you're like in a group, you could be invulnerable for the whole race. And every time you drive through somebody while you're in his charge invulnerability, he gains boost. So he's just able to stay ahead and stay in the race and just not get hit. So I do think him. The reason I put him above Meg, because Meg, as good as she is, she's not always invulnerable. But Fear, if you're in the crowd, yeah, you can literally be invulnerable the whole race. So that's why I got Fear above Meg. Now, who do we have above Fear? I'm gonna go with Olaf. Think about Olaf that makes him good. He has Cloak. I think he has boost, so he's able to maintain his boost very well because he's a speedster. He's able to keep his boost in first. And then his trail. His trail makes people lose control of their vehicle. And whenever somebody hits his trail, he gains boost. So that's another element of boost management. He's usually always cloaked. He has the snowballs, which kind of go all over the place, but they actually come in clutch. So, I gotta put Olaf up there, and he got a speed increase. Olaf, I think, is slept on. He's a really good racer, especially if you get ahead. He can be, very annoying to deal with. So I got Olaf there, and kinda with the same mindset, I gotta put Steamboat Mickey above Olaf. Steamboat Mickey also got a speed increase, but he's a defender, so he's able to kind of just maintain boost in a crowd. He'll help him stay in the race. With his trail, if people drive through his trail, he gets boost from that. He can summon notes on the track to get a little speed boost. He has invulnerability with his trail. So yeah, Steamboat Mickey is actually one of the better defensive lightweights. I think a lot of people just automatically go to like Swan or whoever else, but yeah, Steamboat Mickey is actually really, really good. So that's why I got him above Olaf and everybody else. Alright, next, we're gonna go with Angel. And I was kind of sleep on Angel for a little bit, but Angel's actually really good. I think her being able to, she's one of the tricksters, so she only has to drift 2 times. But the fact that she's invulnerable and she slows people down, that's a double entendre. Any character that has some type of slowdown is just automatically going to be strong, especially on tracks where there's narrow roads. And the fact that she can slow you down and not get stunned gives her a lot of utility. So I think I had her like in a previous tier list I was just playing around with, like D tier, but no, she's definitely one of the stronger lightweights, so I'll have to put her in C tier. But she's a lightweight, so she ain't got no speed. So there's a lot more characters that have slowdown that are just faster, that are just higher tier. So that's why I have Angel in the C tier. Now above Angel we have another slowdown character, Kermit the Frog. Got Kermit above Angel because one, Kermit, he's a speedster, so he's able to get his rush and boost items in first. And then not only can he slow you down, I think he might be one of those slowdown people that can slow you down if you're cloaked. But he has his tap. I think his tap gives him boost management. So if you are ahead, you get your unique, nobody's around you, you can still maintain boost. So that gives him a little bit more pull away potential. So because he has slowdown, boost management, and pull away potential, as well as being a speedster, that's why I have him above Angel. Now above Kermit, I have we're gonna go with Belle. Now the thing about Belle, she's actually really good. The birds, I wish the birds. I think the birds are easier to get than Ooga Booga or Oogie Boogie's bugs, but they help her maintain her speed and her boost. She has the furniture that can really block pathways, and she's just, because of the speed boost, is actually one of the fastest lightweights. I think the fastest lightweight is Stitch, and then Mowgli, and I think maybe her. But yeah, she's definitely like top 2 or top 3 when it comes to speed. Maybe Elizabeth Swan might be up there too, but yeah, she's definitely a good character. She has Cloak that helps her with the protection, and she has boost, and she's able to maintain her boost with her boost item. So that's why I kind of have her there, which means, like, you know, she can maintain a little bit even if there's like not too many item boxes. Now above Belle, gotta go with Stitch. Now the thing about Stitch, the reason why I have Stitch over Belle, one, the lasers is crazy. If you're a Stitch and you're able to get ahead of people, or there's like narrow roads, those bullets can really cause people, you know, problems. Even like middleweights or heavyweights, Stitch can kind of, you know, gatekeep with his bullets, and that's for like a really good utility, as well as him having Cloak, as well as him being the fastest lightweight, as well as him having Rush, which can allow him to lake jump and, you know, get around corners. He has a lot of good things going for him. Definitely one of the better lightweights. You know, and this is with him. This is even after all of the nerfs, because I think Stitch used to be even stronger. Stitch used to be invulnerable by shooting lasers, but even without the invulnerability, he's still a problem. You know, if he gets behind, it's, you know, and then he can also shoot bullets ahead, which helps. I think the only thing, if he gets too far behind, he doesn't really have catch-up potential. But if he's in the crowd or ahead, or it's a track with a lot of handling, yeah, he's just gonna go crazy. So I have Stitch there. And now above Stitch, we're gonna go with the one and only Fix-It Felix. Now Fix-It Felix isn't the fastest lightweight, but the fact that he has Cloak and he has an ability that makes him invulnerable, like he can go a whole race without getting stunned. You know, he does protect other people, but I think he gets a lot of utility just from not getting hit, and then he also gets a speed boost whenever he gets 500 points around people, which can kind of, like, you'd be surprised, like close races, that can be the difference maker. And then also when he can front run, like if he's in first and he has this unique, he can get boost. He eats this little Mario pie and then he gets boost, and then he's able to kind of like stay ahead. So Felix is actually, he's a defender. So yeah, Felix is actually like elite. So gotta put him above, you know, everybody else. Yeah, boost management is actually super important. Like I said, it's probably I know I put invulnerability. I probably need to early. I think it goes top speed, boost management, and vulnerability in that combat. So the fact that he has boost management and invulnerability, yeah, gotta put him up there. Now above Felix, go with Mowgli. Mowgli's actually a crazy character. One, he's kind of like a mini Jasmine. He's able to summon a bunch of wolves around him, and the wolves, he can kind of maintain his boost whenever he's around them. So basically he can stay, if you're drifting and hitting speed paths and you got your wolves out, you can literally just maintain boost the whole race. He has a higher top speed for the lightweights. The wolves also stun people, so he has some get off me potential. He has pull away potential because of the boost management. He's one of the faster lightweights. I think he has Cloak. He has Rush. Like, yeah, he's a very balanced, very character that pretty much has it all. And you know, I actually use him a lot when it comes to competitive scene and regulated. He actually stands out. So yeah, Mowgli's a beast. You definitely want to get him. And then above Mowgli, we're gonna go with Oswald. Oswald actually, he got a buff. He got a top speed buff, And then they changed his unique a little bit to where he doesn't drain boost whenever he's flying, so that makes him a lot stronger. But his auto, unlike all of the other characters that we've gone through so far with autos like Lilo, his goes like 165 miles an hour. So when you're cutting corners going 160, like he can definitely go from like last to first within a corner, or within, you know, a series of corners. And it adds up, especially on those tracks that are windy. Now, you know, obviously if it's like a track that doesn't have a lot of item boxes, it doesn't have a lot of tight turns, you know, he might not be as strong. But the ceiling, the potential is just so high for him being a lightweight that I gotta put him above some of these other characters. So yeah, that's Oswald. And then above Oswald, we gotta go with Tierlist, y'all. Tierlist actually is super strong. It was kind of crazy. She used to have a stat bug, and it showed that her stats, that she was like supposed to have a bunch of speed, but they reverted it, and then, you know, they didn't give her the extra speed. They just made the stats correct. But Tierlist makes her strong. She has a unique that gives her protection that lasts a long time, and it doesn't matter how many times you get hit. It can literally block everything. It can block trails, it can block obstacles, it can block anything. And it doesn't matter if you get hit a million times, the shield stays up. Unlike I think in Minnie Mouse, if you get hit, the shield goes away or something like that. But Tierlist, it stays. So that's one thing. That's protection and vulnerability. So that's one reason why I have her at the top of the lightweights. And then two, the fact that she has like an Ana charge, and which honestly I think it gets you more nitrous than Ana. That thing, it can keep you boosted up for the whole race. She's a trickster, so with her having boost, you just gotta drift 2 times. Yeah, I think just the boost management and protection alone just separates her from the other characters, where you can just like pull away while other characters are running out of boost and slowing down. You can just keep going. So yeah, I definitely got Tierlist up there. The only issue, and then she has a whirlwind. She literally has probably potential to be stronger, but they need to buff the whirlwind or fix it to where it actually pushes people away. I don't know why they have it so weak. Like, they make you work so hard to get this passive, and then the moment you get it, it doesn't work. But if her whirlwind gets fixed and it starts pushing people away like Elizabeth Swan, then she's really gonna be a problem. So yeah, that is Tierlist at the top of the lightweights, and then above her, it's a new character, and gotta go with the Fink, Dr. Finkelheimer, or should I say Dr. Finkelstein? Yeah, Finkelstein is actually really good. Well, not only does he have good speed for a lightweight, good handling, good boost. His unique ability, his tap gives him, it fills up 2 boost bars basically. And he's a trickster, so he can maintain it. And on top of that, with each tap or unique you use, you get like a light bulb. And with each light bulb, his charge unique gets stronger. It gives him like a lightning and vulnerability, a wheelchair to boost. Like, honestly, him being able to maintain his wheelchair boost actually comes in really clutch. Like, if you're on the last lap and there's like a few corners left and you use his unique, you can catch up to the pack, you can stun everybody, you're invulnerable, you don't get hit. I think he also has rush. So yeah, Finkelstein is definitely like probably one of the best lightweights, and he can hold his own with some of the middleweights. And even though he doesn't have something that constantly charges like Tia, like his boost is still like really good. But I think he's a little bit faster than Tia. And yeah, so I think Finkelstein is up there. Alright, now last but not least, we have the last lightweight and the strongest, and that is Elizabeth Swan. Now, you probably seen Elizabeth Swan up there because, one, she has top speed, she has a level 5 cloak, so she can stay vulnerable. She's a defender, so she can maintain boost. She has a high combat stat, so when she does get stunned, it's not for long, or when she stuns people, it's for a long time. and then her trail is just too strong. Like, it's crazy because it used to be longer, but the fact that that trail, if you're behind her, can literally make you go from 130 miles an hour to 0 just in one turn. It can knock you off the stage. It's just too powerful. I think we've all been in a situation where we were behind the swan, and then the swan sent you to the shadow realm or stopped you, and then there goes your race, and then she's gone and cloaked. And on top of that, yeah, when she's invisible, the trail is cloaked too, so you can't even see the trail. So there's literally no counterplay to the trail. You just better hope you have a cloak and don't get hit with it. So the only issue though, she is a lightweight, so even though she's probably one of the better lightweights or the best lightweight, she's speed kills in this game. It's all about speed at the end of the day, so gotta put her in C. So my philosophy is that if you're a lightweight, you know, everybody was even complaining about how they need to buff all the lightweights. We can't be like, oh, buff all the lightweights, you know, top speed is the only thing that matters, and then be like, oh, well, you know, all of these lightweights are S tier or A tier. It's like, nah, they're slow. A lot of the lightweights have some of the best abilities, but they're just too slow, and there's not enough high handling maps to where they can make up on it. So yeah, those are all the lightweights so far. So now we're gonna move on to heavy middleweights and up. So in B tier, we're gonna go with our worst middleweight. We're gonna go Miss Piggy. Thing about Miss Piggy, she's just, well, middleweight. She's kind of slow. She's kind of like a medium kart racer, kind of in between small and medium. She doesn't really have protection. She's a brawler. Doesn't really have boost management. The spotlight is pretty good. You can actually get some crazy boosts from it, but it's just situational. You're relying on boxes, and sometimes the spotlight goes places to where you aren't necessarily driving. So I mean, you know, you can still win with her. She's B. B isn't bad, but you know, she's just not OP. You know, she got some flaws. She just doesn't have all of the OP stuff some of the other characters have. So we're gonna put Miss Piggy in B tier. But hey, I guess she pushes people out the way. I think her spotlight, so that's clutch. Above Miss Piggy, we're gonna go with Hades. And see, this is why I said, like, just because a character is in B tier doesn't mean they're bad. Because Hades, you can win with Hades if you use him right. Hades is actually pretty good. Hades, you can use his tap, and whenever you pass people, you get 2 boost bars, and you're kind of just able to pull away. I think when Hades first came out, or in the earlier seasons, a lot of people were just using his charge, thinking that was better, and maybe it was better because that's when it was the stun meta. But ever since the stun, you don't get stunned for as long, and then on top of that, in order for your explosion to go off, people have to pass you. That part of his ability isn't the strongest. Where you actually want to use Hades is using his tap, because boost is everything in this game. He has decent top speed, and with the boost management, with him being a trickster, he can actually do pretty decent. But yeah, his protection is a little off, and he doesn't have the best handling. But yeah, Hades is decent. He's decent. The top players definitely utilize him well. Alright, so above Hades, we're gonna go with Randall Haas. Yeah, we're gonna go with Randall. The thing about Randall, he's kind of like Miss Piggy as well. He's kind of a slower middleweight. His charge is like a door, but it's not like a mic door. It's a super short door, and you lose boost, so that sucks. But I will say his tap is useful because it gives you invulnerability. And invulnerability is everything in this game. And then 2, when you get the 5 screens, you get like a big speed boost, and that slows people down, and you take off. So you know, if you're on the right track and there's enough item boxes, you use his unique right, like, yeah, you can actually go crazy. But he's a little bit too reliant on other people, because if you're not around anybody, you're kind of screwed, or you have to rely on like getting 5 doors. So, but you know, there's a ceiling. He has potential. Above Randall, I'll go with Sully. Now Sully is a heavyweight. He has good top speed. His handling is terrible. I don't know why they nerfed his top speed, but I think where he shines is his roar is kind of crazy. His roar can, if you use the roar before rails, you can literally knock people off stage. So that actually makes him really good. And the fact that that's another thing that helps him maintain boost is his roar, and then stunning people also gives him a boost, whether it's fire or whatever. So he's decent. You know, he has flaws. He doesn't have good protection at all. You will be getting stunned a lot with him, but the boost management and the push away makes him pretty good. Above Sully, we're gonna go with my boy Jafar. This is why I say, like, just because somebody's in B tier doesn't mean they're bad. Jafar is actually a really good character, a really good Aladdin character. All the Aladdin characters are pretty much good. Like the fact that Jafar is the weakest and is in B, you know, that's not bad. But Jafar has a cloak, which you know helps him, and then his fire. The fact that his fire lasts a long time, and then when you stun people, you get boost. I think really makes it to where you can sabotage people with Jafar, and he's actually able to kind of pull away. He has a boost item too, so as long as you're not in first, you can pull away. He has decent handling and speed, and then he can just stun everybody sideways and in front. And he can stun people multiple times. Like sometimes if somebody's about to pass you, you can use his fire in front of him. So then when somebody passes you, they get stunned, and you can just like maintain your spot. But I think what makes him better than Sully is the fact that he has a little bit more protection going for him. So that's why I got Jafar in B. Alright, so the next character above Jafar, Figment. Figment actually used to be trash, but they ended up buffing his, I think, top speed, and they fixed his ability to where you can get a speed boost with his tap. So that actually makes him really strong. If he's ahead, he's able to pull away. There's been like a lot of different races in the competitive scene where Figment's got first place and beat Jasmine's and Nanda's and Buzz's. I think people are asleep on his boost that he gets from his tap. And on top of that, it can be stronger based on how many people are around him. And he has cloak, he has fire, he has some good items going. I think the issue with Figment though is if you use his tap and while you're in the middle of your boost, if you get hit with anything, it locks you out of using your boost and it locks you out of speed. So that's why I don't have him any higher, because that's just kind of like game breaking. I think Mickey suffers the same thing. Cruella. Yeah, there are certain characters where in the process of them getting the speed boost, if they get stunned, they're just like SOL. So, but I think the ceiling for his potential kind of puts him above some of the other characters mentioned. Now above Figment, we got, gonna go with Goofy. Now Goofy, he's kind of like Randall and Miss Piggy, where he's a middleweight, but he doesn't have the best top speed. I think ever since they nerfed the bunny hopping and Buzz, Goofy kind of got hit too, where his charge used to be better, where you use his charge and you bunny hop and he could kind of pull away, but he can't really do that anymore. But you know, it still has its uses. You know, if there's like a tight corridor, you can stun people. His main use is he does have invulnerability with his auto, but you don't want to waste your auto. So like unlike a Tia Dalma where you might use her shield so you can have consistent protection. Goofy more so you just want to use his auto on corners, but because he's invulnerable and it lasts a long time, it actually makes him very strong, especially on like high handling maps, like certain variants of Candy Kingdom or Castle. Like Goofy's actually like top tier. So I think the fact that he has some decent speed as a middleweight, he has yeah, and then he has a good ability, I think puts him above the rest. And then above Goofy, we're gonna go with this is where we start getting to the slowdown. We're gonna go with Ennui. I think Ennui, she's kind of like she has an auto like Goofy, but I think the reason why I have Ennui above Goofy It's one, you know, she has boost item, so she can keep her speed, only drift 2 times. But I think the slowdown just is too much. Because she can cut the same corners as Goofy, go about around the same speed as Goofy when she does the auto, I think. Or Goofy's might be like maybe a little bit faster, but not much. But the couches just slow you down too much. Like, it's just too powerful. You can literally change the results of a race and sabotage somebody if you hit somebody with a couch once. And I think it's just so powerful that we got to put her above the rest. The only issue with Ennui is she has no protection. Not really. I think she has a shield, but yeah, that's about it. So, and then, you know, the couch could be faster because there's characters that have faster autos. But, you know, so, but Ennui's definitely strong. So we got Ennui in the B tier. Above Ennui, I'll go with Maleficent. Now the reason we got Maleficent here is that lightning is actually really strong. If you're coming from behind in the pack, that lightning literally is almost impossible to dodge, you know, unless you got cloak. But yeah, you can literally just stun whole groups, and then you can turn into the dragon. I think the dragon lasts a long time. It can kind of like just take you ahead, and at that point you can just take off. I think that's what makes her really strong. The reason I don't have Maleficent A or S is because once you're in the first, your abilities are kind of useless. You can, like, if you use your charge, it doesn't do anything, and if you use your tap, sometimes you can stun people, but it's something to like kind of like the lightning in front of you, so you're not really stunning anybody once you're in the first, and then people can kind of catch up to you. So that's why I would probably have her in B. But the fact that she can come from last to first, basically the issue with Maleficent is she just has a hard time maintaining first. But the getting in the first is no issue. And then the dragon, her auto can also stun people with the fire. I just think she's actually an underrated, very strong character. I think a lot of people just don't have her unlocked or leveled up, so they just don't know. But no, she's definitely one of the stronger middleweights and mid-season characters at that. Alright, so above Maleficent, we gonna go with Oogie Boogie, Ooga Booga. Oogie Boogie actually is one of the fastest characters in the game. He's kind of like King Candy with his ability, where he can summon gumballs behind him. But the difference is they don't get destroyed immediately. I think if they actually stun people and stay on the track, you could throw a ball behind you, and if nobody hits it, it'll stay on the track, and then in the next lap they could potentially hit it. So I think that's very useful. And then whenever anybody hits your charge balls, you get a boost. And I think the thing that makes him really strong is his tap, because he's able to maintain this boost and get 2 boost bars by going over the bugs. So he can actually, like, he has pull away potential. He can actually go crazy and take off. The issue with him, while I wouldn't put him in A or S, he doesn't have good protection. He only has a shield, and then on top of that, if he gets stunned while his ability is active, it just goes away, kind of like Joy, and that sucks when you're trying to get your bugs. And on top of that, other people, if it's in solos, they can benefit off of your bugs. In teams, he's a little bit stronger, but the fact that other people can benefit off of your bugs and can stop your unique from activating if you get stunned, that's why I don't have him higher. But if you're by yourself in first, you can pull away. So you definitely will probably see him on certain time trials. But yeah, so we got Oogie Boogie as one of the upper echelon B tier characters. Now above Oogie Boogie, we got what's her name? Ursula. Now Ursula is also a character that has a lot of good speed, and she has slowdown, and slowdown is important. With her tap, she has the eels. Now the reason I don't have her in A or S is because this game has an issue with tracking. Like, you can have a disc, somebody could be right in front of you, and then you charge it, and then the disc goes past somebody. Ursula's eels suffer from the same thing. Whenever you send your eels out, sometimes they can just go straight up past people because the tracking in this game is terrible. So it's not consistent. But you know, if you slow them down, it's pretty good. You get boosts off it, I think. But you know, and then she has her charge where she can get 2 boost bars in the crowd. So I think that actually makes her really good. But the only issue I have is sometimes you can launch people in front of you, which can benefit them. More often than not, you mess them up. But yeah, the fact that she's relying on other people for her boost, and she doesn't have protection, she doesn't have cloak, so she's often getting stunned. I think, you know, makes her really good, and she has a potential, but she also doesn't have enough protection for my liking, and her ability isn't as consistent as it should be. But overall, one of the better characters, I think, in divisions or in the competitive scene, Ursula is often banned or utilized. So definitely a good character. And that is the all of the B tier characters that I have. So now we're going to move on to A tier. Now I'd say the first character A tier is Gaston. Gaston is actually a really good character. He has a high skill ceiling, but if you're able to master him, he can kind of go crazy. You have to be able to hit your shots though. If you hit his arrows, he can get his ability back. He gets a speed boost. He gets trophies, which means each trophy he gets, the speed boost gets even faster. So he's just one of those characters where if you're able to get your trophies and hit your shots, if you get ahead, you can just pull away from people, even if you don't have boost. I think that's one of the things that makes it up for him, because he has pull away potential, where even if he doesn't have boost, he's still, like, you know, getting speed boost from his charge or his arrows. So I think he's actually really fast as well, has good combat. So yeah, he's definitely one of the better brawlers in the game. And then, but you know, he just doesn't have protection. He suffers. He can get hit and stunned a lot. He doesn't have cloak. He just has shield. And a lot of characters with shield kind of struggle with that. Which is how we go to our next character, Triton. Oh, one moment. Yeah, so Triton is actually maybe the second or third, fourth, fifth fastest. He's definitely, he can go over 160 miles an hour. He's one of the fastest characters in the game, and he can literally affect everybody on the track. Just like Gaston, if you hit somebody with his tap, you can get his unique over and over and over again, which is unique. Basically, can launch people like a bomb out the way, like a shock wave, and then he can send waves backwards, and his waves take people out of their boost and kind of like stun them, as well as he gets boost. So the fact that he's able to kind of stun everybody on the track and get and benefit off of it, I think really gives him a high skill ceiling, a high potential. I think he just suffers where he's like a fast and famine character. If you're ahead, you're probably one of the strongest characters in the game, but if you're behind, you're screwed. It's kind of hard for him to come back. He doesn't do well from behind. But I think he's just of the speed and the ability, I think he's really good. If he had like cloak or something, he'd be even better. But I think with the change of the items, since he gets his boost item a lot more, he actually can catch up a little bit more, as well as having a level 5 disc. So yeah, Triton is definitely strong. I just don't think he has enough protection to be an S, and he doesn't have good comeback potential. Above Triton, gonna go Gantu. Gantu, one is also one of the fastest characters in the game. I think his weakness is he doesn't really have good boost management, and he doesn't have cloak. He just has shield. So when his unique ability isn't active, he just has a shield. So his protection is lacking. But with his unique, he's able to stun people, get boost off of stunning people, and to be invulnerable after getting the little the plotches that he puts on the track. So the fact that he's fast, he has invulnerability, and he gets boost. He's actually like a really top tier brawler. I think he's slept on because of teams, because people don't want to use him in teams because he might stun his teammates. But in solos, you really start to see where he shines. And I think head to head, 9 times out of if there are 10 races, he probably beats Triton more often than not in a 1v1 or in a lobby full of 8. So I got him slightly above Triton. He has a little bit more comeback potential with his unique, just him being able to stun people the way he does from in front and behind. Now above Gantu, we have Boatman Pedro, or Steamboat Willie, or Steamboat Pete, whatever you want to call him. He's actually really good. He has the highest combat stat in the game, so he's able to stun people. He has cloak. So yeah, when he does stun people, it really hits hard, and they're stunned for a long time. Also, he doesn't get stunned for long. He's kind of like a character in solos that just dominates. Like he can just like stun everybody and get boost from his plotches. He's a gatekeeper. I think him having cloak, him being kind of like having the highest combat stat, the gatekeeper kind of makes it to where he can kind of just maintain first and nobody can get past him. So I just think, he might not have invulnerability like some characters, but I think his combat stat and the gatekeeper potential kind of puts him up there. He just has good stats overall. All right, now above Steamboat P, we have Anger. Anger, I believe, is slept on. Anger's really good. Can hit speed of 160. And he kind of has the fire ability before it got nerfed, because the fire ability, you used to be able to stun people over and over and over and over, and that was one of the things that made Hans annoying. But then they made it to where the backfire, you can only get hit once. But with Anger, he has the backfire, and he can stun you 10 times in a row, if you're close enough. And each time he stuns anybody with his backfire or his fire that goes in front of him, so he has fire going in both directions, in front and behind, he just gets boost. So the fact that he has a boost item, he gets boost from his unique, that boost management really puts him ahead, and it helps his top speed. He's a gatekeeper. I think he gatekeeps even better than Steamboat Pete because he actually gets a boost off of it. His protection, probably the only thing that sucks is he just has a shield. But more often than not, let's say his shield gets destroyed. If he has this unique, he can probably stun people and stop them from passing. As well as I didn't even get to, he's kind of like Triton and Gaston, where if you use his tap and you stun somebody with his explosion, he gets it back. So he potentially can get his unique back to back to back to back. Any character that can get the unique back to back to back, it's pretty strong. So above Anger, we got
I'm CalebBlackFlash and I'm the
Calhoun. Number one Calhoun. Yeah, she's kind of fallen off a little bit. One of the issues is she's just a broken character. Her unique abilities have been broke ever since launch. You can't fully utilize her Cybug pits. The first one is always you go through it once you level up your character and get a higher speed. And on top of that, the fact that so many characters can destroy her pits, I think if somebody throws a disc and since the disc always miss, they kind of just, it's almost like her Sawbug pits are lined up where the disc is gonna go. So then the disc just kind of destroys all of her pits, as well as when people have hack, the hack destroys her pits. Elsa's ice beam destroys her pits. Raja and Mowgli. So she's another fast and famine character. It takes way too many points, 2,000 points, just for her to get the maximum utility from her auto. So there's a lot of setup, and there's a lot of setup with an ability that doesn't even really work properly. I think in team mode she doesn't even get points. So there's a lot wrong. But if everything was working right, if she was able to get all of her Sawbug pits and points, and all of that, like that hoverboard is just so strong, because it lasts a long time, and it's probably, I think, one of the fastest autos in the game. So once you get the 2,000 points and you get them uniques and them autos, you're just pulling away, or you're coming back and passing people. She has potential. Her ceiling is probably one of the highest. She has potential to be even aerial. In the competitive scene, you know, I raced against 2 aerials, one on my team, one on the other team, and was able to win with Calhoun. So she has potential, but her issue is her Sawbug pits are broken, they're easily destroyed, and she doesn't have any protection. So that's why I don't have her in S tier or higher up in the A tier list. But she's definitely in the A tier, a great character. Now above Calhoun, we're gonna go with Kristoff. Kristoff, you know, he's kind of a plain Jane, basic dude, but he's actually really good. He is a defender, so he's able to kind of like maintain his boost. He has the boost item, which helps that with his passive. I think really the thing that makes him strong is his charge. The way he's able to just throw blankets all over the track and mess people up. I think it's actually really strong. The fact that he's a defender, he gets shield. He can side bash and get shield, as well as having the shield item that gives him a little bit of extra protection, even though it's not a cloak. And then he has this spin. That's kind of like a mini Raja that can kind of like knock people out the way. I think he's decent. I think he's overall a decent character. If you played ranked, you probably seen a strong Kristoff. You know, all the Frozen characters are strong, but Kristoff is definitely one of the stronger characters. Oh yeah, he can also destroy Calhoun's pit. Above Kristoff, we got Elsa. Elsa's a defender. So she can draft off of people, maintain boost. She has a rush, so she can late jump. I think one thing that makes Elsa strong is her combat stats. She has one of the highest combat stats, and when you couple that with the ice walls, where she's able to block off the track, so she has obstacles that are all, you know, at maxed out or hard to dodge. She can take up the whole track, and on top of that, she has an ice beam, so she's behind. Not only is she drafting off of you, she can freeze you, make you lose control of your vehicle, which can make you crash into a wall, which can make you fall off the stage. It's kind of crazy that they nerfed the stun, but before the stun duration, she was really cracked and she wasn't even maxed out. So I don't even think nobody's ever even really seen all her potential, because by the time that people were able to get her to level 50, they nerfed the stun duration. But I think the ice beam really, it's just such a good unique. It's able to destroy obstacles and freeze opponents. It really makes her a good racer. I think she struggles though, where she just has doesn't have the best protection, just a shield. So you know, that's kind of where she falls short. Has good handling too. But yeah, once she's maxed out, you really start to see the potential of Elsa. Now above Elsa, we got Joy. Now, one of the reasons I got Joy, she has a lot of she's actually really good at maintaining boosts. I don't know if you guys were watching the solo tournament. I actually won a race with Joy, and yeah, Joy was actually one of the go-to picks for one of the tracks. The thing that makes her strong is the way she's able to maintain boosts, and since she's the speedster, she can get it in first, so she can kind of pull away. as well as she's kind of like a mini aerial, where you get her orbs. If you get 5 of them, you can kind of get 4 speed boosts that really, help you pull away in on tracks where there are like tight roads. You can get them easy. And then her tap is actually really good. The only issue is if she gets hit, it gets destroyed. But if you're able to use it right, like in an underwater stage, or if you use her tap and you jump, you can kind of get like launched forward. So yeah, she actually has a really good, unique. They could have made her better where it doesn't like get destroyed if you get hit, but it is what it is. But I think Joy's definitely A tier for sure. She's definitely a good character. They fixed her, I think, on release. If you got more than 5 orbs, her charge wouldn't activate, so that's probably why people think she's worse. But once she got fixed, you kind of started to see what she was capable of. But yeah, she just suffers from protection, but the pull away potential is kind of crazy. If she gets ahead, she's just able to pull away. So that's why I have her above the other A tier characters. Now above Joy, we got Prince Eric. Now Prince Eric actually is very fast for middleweight. I think he's the fastest middleweight. He's a speedster, so he gets a boost, he gets boost, and he's able to maintain that speed with the boost in first. He has an auto. It's slow, but that gives him some invulnerability. Like if somebody has a jumbo bomb or something, you can kind of use this auto, as well as you can use it for auto sections on tracks that kind of like cut corners really fast. So that's another utility. But his most notable is his charge, where he sends his ship forward at 200 miles an hour, is able to stun people and zigzag. The fact that is a thing. He's able to just to stun everybody. He can just always come back from behind. He can maintain boost. Yeah, he's a problem to deal with. I think a lot of people are asleep on him, but there's a reason why he's always banned in the team modes or in the competitive scene, because he's definitely not a character you want to have to deal with. All right, so now, at this point, we really start to get into the meta of slowdown and invulnerability. So far, you see a lot of characters that have like boost and pull away potential, but these characters really start to have it all. But first, we'll go with Celia May. Celia May is really good, very fast. Is a defender, so is able to maintain boost. Can get shields, has a shield item, so more often than not, Celia is just always shielded up, which helps with her protection. She can slow you down. She can slow you down if you're cloaked. Like even if you're aerial and you're rushing, you're boosting. If you hit a Celia May, the Celia May can stop you in your tracks. It's actually really like one of the most OP slowdowns. But there is a character with an even more OP slowdown, but Celia May is definitely probably second place. Top 3 for sure when it comes to slowdown characters. But yeah, with all of that being said, I think her slowdown is really it's the slowdown and her defensive protection, I think, secures her spot in the A tier. I think where she struggles, even though her defense as her shield as a defender is good, it is still shield, so she can anytime there's a trail, she can get stunned, and then her unique goes away once she's stunned, and she doesn't really have any pull away potential. Her tap is kind of weak. It could be boosted up a little bit more. But yeah, after Celia, we got Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington, he probably would have been an S tier on the way he was at release, because he used to be able to summon presence right and spawn them on top of people, and whenever somebody hits a present, he gets invulnerability, and they would be frozen and all kinds of stuff, and that was actually like too much. Like it was actually so OP and broken. But he got nerfed, and ever since he got nerfed and it doesn't spawn right on top of people, a little bit easier to dodge, which means he's not getting as much invulnerability. It's he's still a lot of presence on the track, but it's just not as much invulnerability. It doesn't summon people. He's just not as OP as he used to be, but he's still very strong. He's a speedster, so he gets this rush in first. He does get invulnerability whenever people hit his presidents. He can throw them in front or behind. So I think the invulnerability and the top speed and the sabotageness, I think puts him in A. But yeah, I forgot if he has shield or cloak, but the fact that he has his ability gives him protection, I think that's what puts him a little bit above Celia and some of the other speedsters in the A. But yeah, he definitely before the nerf he was S tier. Just letting y'all know. Above him, we're gonna go with Jack Sparrow. So the two Jacks are together. Samurai Jack. Jack Sparrow. One, he got a speed increase, and then I think the speed increased with his ability to maintain boost. He has cloak. He has invulnerability with the cloak. He has boost management with his circling swords. He has a good top speed, good handling. Yeah, he's overall a pretty good character. I wouldn't put him in an S because the thing about it is he kind of runs out of boost. Like his boost management isn't as good as like some other characters, because if you're not drifting, you can run out of that really good, like really quick. But definitely a little bit of a skill. You definitely got to get your drifts on, but he's definitely one of the, after all of the buffs, I think he's one of the higher tier characters. He has some pull away potential for sure. If you get ahead and you're in first and you keep getting his unique, which you get a lot more in first, I think that is what makes him separated from the pack, is his pull away potential. Above him, gonna go with Betty Bo Peep. Bo Peep is I think one of the fastest tricksters, has good handling. I think it's really the invulnerability that makes her strong. She's able to maintain boost with her boost item. She's a trickster, and she's basically invulnerable. So if you are near anybody while you're invulnerable, you launch yourself ahead. I think just the constant invulnerability with the top speed and good handling and management. I think she's just an overall solid character. You get past a lot of nonsense, stay ahead, stay in the race. I think she has a little bit more better protection than Jack Sparrow, so I'll put her above, because yeah, she also has cloak, so that's why she is there. Now above her is actually Cruella. Now Cruella is a mid-season racer, so a lot of people probably have Cruella in like level 30s, so they'll see the potential. She doesn't have the best boost stat, but she has an ability that one makes her invulnerable and can stun people, as well as using the charge, where you can literally rev up your engine, get a speed boost, and you can take you off, and while you're revving up your engine, you can drift to get boost, and you just have like at a higher top speed. And like if you actually look at some of the time trials for speedsters only, Cruella actually is in the top of those time trials, up there with Jasmine. It's just a lot of people just don't have her at the high level. But I think the consistent invulnerability, but that she's a speedster and she's able to get rushed in first, the pull away potential is just like very high, so that's why I'll put her in the A tier. I think just her pull away potential is a little bit better than Bo Peep and Jack, so that's why I'll put her up there, because Bo Peep has protection, but she doesn't really have pull away potential. Now above Cruella, and I think the speedster buff kind of like boosted her up a little bit. Above Cruella, gonna go with Jasmine. Number one, Jasmine. No, Jasmine's really good. She has a great top speed, great boost management with Roger. You can use the charge, and you refill your nitrous gauge, which allows you to maintain those top speeds for a long time. If you look at the time trial, Jasmine is usually on top. especially when it comes to speedsters. She has rust, so she can lake jump. She can jump. She can use her rush to maintain her boost, and then she also has some invulnerability. The only issue though is her invulnerability isn't consistent anymore. It used to be, and that's why she's not in S tier. I think if she had the invulnerability she had in some of the earlier seasons, I think it was like 5 or 6, I'd put her in S. But because Roger sometimes can run away from you and you can get stunned, it kind of sucks because her outside of Roger, you only have a shield, so she doesn't really have consistent protection. Sometimes, even if you do activate your tap, it takes like 2 or 3 seconds for Roger to run on you to get the protection. So it's just not consistent enough. Like once you really start getting to the higher competitive lobbies, you really start to kind of see her weaknesses. But she's definitely one of the strongest characters in the game, top of the A tier. So yeah, I'd say Jasmine. I think that's a good spot for her. But you know, hey, if you're on a track that has a lot of item boxes, and you can kind of stack the Roger abilities, and you know there are some tracks to where her protection comes in clutch, as well as, you know, it's an aggro invincibility where you're invincible and you're stunning people with your unique. So that's what I think makes, you know, her pretty strong. And I'd say she's above Cruella just because her boost management is just a little bit better, even though Cruella has a better consistent invulnerability. Also, Cruella, yeah, I forgot to mention with Cruella is when she does use her charge, revving up the engines. If she gets hit, you're locked out of your nitrous, and you lose your speed boost. So that's why I have Cruella below Jasmine, just because of that bug. All right, and at the top of the A tier, we have Davy Jones. Now, Davy Jones is a defender. And them tentacles can really like have him take off. Like one, they not only can they stun the whole track, but you can like hit the tentacles and it'll launch you forward. But he did get nerfed, and I don't know why they nerfed him. Nobody was asking for that. But you used to get more height, and when you got more height, whenever you were like in the air, kind of was maintaining your boost, and I feel like you got more distance. But now you don't really get much any height, so you don't go as far as you used to. But he's still a really good defender. Doesn't really have much protection. He has shield, so you know, do what you can. But I think his pull away potential and his combat with the tentacles, I think, puts him on the upper echelon of the A tier. And for the best A tier character, oh snap, we gonna go with Buzz Lightyear. Now, thing about Buzz Lightyear, some people might have him in S, but for me, when you're actually in like a full lobby and there's a lot of stun going on, Buzz can kind of get left behind. The only thing he has for protection is his shield. So if you get stunned, like you might get stunned a lot. But I think what it is, his pull away potential is probably one of the highest in the game. On tracks where they have low gravity, like underwater, his rocket can propel you super far, and you can maintain boost. There are like downhill segments where you can use his charge rocket. There are like the long tracks with long straightaways, you can use his charge rocket to pull away. So he has one of the best uniques when it comes to pull away potential. He just doesn't have a lot of protection. And so that's why I'll put him at the A tier. I think if he had like Cloak or something like that, or something that made him like invulnerable, he'd be S tier. But because he doesn't, and sometimes you can get, you know, hit if you don't get your shield enough, that's why I have him at A. But yeah, I think I missed a character. I think a character that was supposed to be in B. Now Woody is actually kind of trash. Gotta put him in B tier, but I gotta put him above Miss Piggy. Woody has some decent top speed, but he did get it nerfed. But he has terrible boost. His charge doesn't work, which he has like a lasso around him, and it just like sometimes it just like you can hit somebody with it and it just doesn't activate. So that kind of sucks. And then on top of that, his lasso, it's not really no pull away potential. Yeah, you can come like from behind, you can like lasso off of people, but it doesn't recharge. Like there are characters like Gaston, Triton, Anger, or Rapunzel, um, where if you hit somebody with your item, you get it back over and over. That would make Woody really good, but because he doesn't have that, he's kind of just on the lower tier on the B. And then he doesn't have good protection either. I think he has like a cloak, maybe like a level 1 cloak where you got to use crew member to level him up. But if you don't have crew, or you're just in like regulator or private lobbies, it's kind of just like a level 1. You don't get it that much. They got to work on him. But yeah, he's lower B. Alright, so we only got only one tier left. That's S tier. Here we start getting into the OP characters with OP abilities. So at the bottom of the S tier, I'll put Hercules. I think the thing about Hercules, ever since the changes to who gets boost items in first, if you're in first with Hercules, because he's not getting his boost or rush, he's actually going to get his unique a lot more, and because of that, you're going to get Pegasus. So you get more pull away potential with the new changes, since you're getting your unique a lot more. So you can kind of just get on your Pegasus, be invulnerable, get a speed boost, and just take off. And on top of that, you can stun people. So if you're in the crowd, you can stun people, and you get boosts from stunning people because he's a brawler, and you can pull ahead on that. You can use this tab to be invulnerable. He has level 5 disc. He has a boost. Like, yeah, Hercules he has cloak. Yeah, Hercules is definitely S tier, and I think all of the buffs have definitely helped him move up the tier list. Let me check something real quick. Oh yeah, we're still going. Alright, so above Hercules, I'm gonna have to go with Rapunzel. Oh, where'd she go? So Rapunzel has a good top speed, good handling. With the unique, you're invulnerable when you have the hair out. You get boosts from the unique with boost management, so you actually have some front running potential, even if you're a defender, because usually defenders get in first and then they kind of just fall off because they're not able to get. But she's one of the few defenders that's able to get boosts from her unique, as well as she has a hair lasso like Woody. But the difference is when you get somebody, you get your unique back, so you can kind of just use it over and over and over and lasso people over and over and over again. That can kind of just like lasso yourself to first, and then once you lasso yourself to first, you can use your charge, throw the hair backwards, and then you're invulnerable. So she's actually like one of the a character that the more skilled you are, the more you're gonna get out of the character. But yeah, she's definitely, I would say, it's S tier. Defender, good class, good uniques, good protection, good boost, good speed, good handling, good combat. Pretty much just well-rounded and has it all. So definitely definitely one of the better, if not the best, mid-season racers. And a really fun character to play. Above Rapunzel, we got Baloo. Got Baloo in probably S tier, because Baloo can pull away from people with the pumpkins. The pumpkins give you a speed boost and they give you boost. In team modes, he's actually like really OP because the enemy doesn't get your pumpkins, only you do. But in solos, like if you're just in first place, you can just kind of just take off. I don't know if you guys saw the division finals. I think it was the last race. Toxic was on Baloo, and he was while everybody else was fighting, he just kind of pulled away from everybody. As well as he has invulnerability, and he has an aggro invulnerability. Baloo does when he can throw bananas backwards and cause obstacles on the track that people can hit, but then also be invulnerable for like a long period of time. It just makes Baloo very strong. I think why I put him and Rapunzel on S tier, on the lower S tier, as well as Hercules, is because all of their invulnerability, other people also benefit off of it, and Baloo people benefit off of his pumpkins. But depending on whether it's teams, Baloo I think is a little bit higher than Rapunzel and Herc. But yeah, he's definitely S tier. Alright, now above Baloo we got what's his name? Barbossa. Now Barbossa is always invulnerable while he's cursed, but his unique ability gives him extra top speed, which makes him the fastest in the game. I think he goes like 170, maybe 180. So that's actually super strong. But the only issue, which is very reliant on certain tracks that don't have a lot of item boxes, you can get left out because of RNG, and if people pull away far enough ahead of you, you can get to a point to where you'll never get anybody. I think Barbossa benefits more in lobbies, full lobbies of 8. If he's like in a 1v1 or a lobby of 3 or 4, he can get left behind. But in a full lobby, he's actually really strong because not only can he slow people down, but he gets a huge speed boost. But the downside to that is once he gets his speed boost, he's not invulnerable. So then that's when he can get stunned. So he's another character that's fast and famine, can be a little bit, but it's just like his slowdown is so strong and the speed boost he gets is so strong. Even if it's not the most consistent, it just affects so many other people to where, yeah, he's definitely S tier. Alright, above Barbossa we have Beast. Beast is a beast. Pretty much, he's one of those characters. You get his unique. He has a speed boost. He goes into beast mode and he gets a speed boost that is aggro, so you can stun people while pulling it ahead. He has a good combat stat. He doesn't really have the best protection, but the fact that he's just able to recover from being stunned with his unique, and he gets it over and over again, I think makes him strong. One of the better brawlers. He has pull away potential. I think the only thing, since the change with the uniques now, that he doesn't get his boost and rush and first, I think it messed up the item cycle a little bit, so he doesn't get his. Sometimes you can be in beast mode and still get some random items. So, but I think his potential to come back from last place or to pull away in first, I think puts him in S tier. It's a little bit more consistent than Barbossa. Now above Beast, I would go Ralph. Ralph is just a better beast. Another brawler, has fire, can get boost from that. Has a boost item, but instead of having to wait for beast mode, he can literally just get his unique, do his little windmill jumps, which maintains his boost while he's in the air, as well as giving him a huge speed boost. And he's just able to pull away. He can come back from behind. When he's ahead, he can just pull away. He has some pull away potential. He's one of the few brawlers that do have that. He can jump over lakes. He can jump over. He can basically, he has shortcut potential with his windmills. He has a lot going for him. So that's why I got Ralph. He's probably one of the best. Yeah, I think he's probably one of the better brawlers in the game. There definitely is a brawler that's better than him, but he's definitely top 2, top 3. All right, now above Ralph, we got the boy Genie. The Genie's strong because one, he's a defender, so he's always able to get it. And he has a good top speed. His unique gives him 3 items back to back to back, so he's always cloaked up. He's always got a boost or rush. He's always got something to hit you with. He can kind of just stay away from the drama, pull away with the boost. However, he got nerfed a little bit. That's why he's lower on the S tier, because he no longer gets boost or rush when he's in first. So his pull away potential is a little bit nerfed. So he has to be more gatekeeping. He has to be more of a gatekeeper, and he has to be more of trying to like stay cloaked to avoid damage. But he can definitely just slide through the pack, and then he just and then he has like his tools to be able to maintain the spot. Not as much pull away potential, but still very strong. Cloak defenders kind of are the meta in this game. Above him we got Jumba. I say Jumba is pretty much everything I said about Genie minus the getting a bunch of items, but Cloak Defender, able to come back from behind because of boost, but is a really fast defender. But I think he's literally a walking blue shell, so he can just hit people in first, stun them, stun people around him. The bomb that he throws backwards, the range on it is insane. He has a good combat stat, so whenever he hits people with his bomb, they're stunned for a long time. He has cloak. He just has a lot going for him. He's a gatekeeper. He's able to avoid damage. He has good top speed, and he's a blue shell. So yeah, Jumba is definitely one of the better characters. Alright, so now we really get into the meta. Above Jumba, I'll probably put Shang. Shang got buffed. He got a speed buff. He has rush, so he can like do wall skips, late skips. But I think the thing that makes Shang really good is his invulnerability. Not only does he have shield, but he's invulnerable all the time, so he can and the vulnerability lasts a long time. I think it lasts over 12 seconds. So he can just get he has an aggro invulnerability, so he not only is he able to stay protected, he's able to stun people. He has one of the highest combat stats in the game. So he's just able to stun you, be protected, pull away. And I think he now gets boost whenever he runs into obstacles or people with his unique. So yeah, Shang is definitely a must ban character, especially in competitive. You do not want to leave him unbanned. He's definitely OP. I don't know why they buffed him, but they did. But yeah, Shang is cracked, so that's why he's one of the higher S tier characters. We got Sadness. Slow, powerful. Sadness is a cloak defender. Can throw orb forward to slow people down and get boost. Has an aura around her that slows people down. Gets cloak. Has good protection. I think has like fire or something. Yeah. Sadness is definitely. You don't even have to have Sadness maxed out, and she can just dominate. She's like Celia but better. She can slow down people cloaked. But I think what makes her better than Celia is she's cloaked, and she has boost. She has the boost item. She's literally the perfect combination of just abilities in general. The only reason why she's not number one is because she doesn't have pull away potential. If she had like a pull away potential, probably be the best character in the game. But once you get in first with Sadness, you just kind of just have to use her tap and just like maintain first and slow down anybody that tries to get past you while you're cloaked. But yeah, Sadness is definitely a top tier character. Above Sadness though is Aladdin. Aladdin, he gets his carpet. He's just able to get reach speeds that some of the higher that other characters aren't able to reach, as well as he has a passive where if he hits anybody while he's in this carpet, he can get yeah, if he hits people with his carpet, he can get clocks. And yeah, not too many so basically like it'd be like getting like a bullet bill in Mario Kart in first place. Like the fact that he can get that in first while also having a carpet that can go 160, and then he has a carpet that can go 150 with the auto around tight turns. Just kind of like just put something above everybody else. He has the auto, he has the top speed, he has the boost. I guess his weakness would be the fact that he has a low combat stat and he's kind of vulnerable. He doesn't really have any like protection like that. But yeah, above Aladdin, we'd go Will Turner. Will Turner pretty much just has it all. He has top speed, he has protection, he has boost. Yeah, what is his boost management? He has the boost item, but then whenever he uses his shield, the boost decay is lowered, so you're able to maintain your boost a lot longer. And then with the shield, it protects you, and if anybody hits you close, you get it back to back. So that's actually really strong. And on top of that, his charge, where he summons his swords, he can pass people, and even if he gets hit, it doesn't go away. So if you pass people or people pass you, you get a speed boost, so you can kind of like maintain your spot and get past the crowd. So pretty much he's just balanced. He has like everything going for him. He has all of that. So, and he's a speedster, so he has pull away potential. If he's in first and he's not getting hit, he can just take off. But I guess his weakness would be whenever he does get hit, he no longer has that boost management. So that would be his only weakness that I would give for Will Turner. But yeah, he's legit. Alright, so the next character that I'll put above Will Turner is Ana. And I gotta put her up above Will because, one, she's fast, she has protection, she has boost management, she has cloak. But it's really that she can't get hit out of her invulnerability. Like Will Turner, if he gets hit with something, he loses his shield. And if he's not around anybody, it's just gone. But for her, like even if she gets hit while she's invulnerable, her invulnerability doesn't go away. Really, and then honestly, if this was team mode, she's probably the strongest character in the game. But I guess if you include solos, she just protects her opponents too much, and they benefit off of her unique. But outside of like other people benefiting off of her protection, like she has pull away potential, she has consistent protection, she has cloak, she has speed handling. She pretty much, it's the complete package. Probably the best racer in the game in teams maybe. So yeah, I would definitely put her in like the top 3 positions. Now the next character I'll put above Ana will be Ariel. Ariel pretty much cloak defenders meta, has it all. I would say Ariel before the nerf was probably the strongest character in the game. Could get the bubbles and reach speeds of 170, could come back from behind, could pull away, and had a boost item that could extend the lead. But even after the nerf, you can't sleep on Ariel. She's still S tier, one of the strongest characters. She what's it called, and that's in ranked and regulated. She has cloak, she has boost to come back, she has the bubbles that give her top speed. Like pretty much like it's a guaranteed win. If like you know what you're doing, you just gotta like kind of like stay ahead or stay in the pack, and then wait for your moment to use your charge, and then you get 6 boosts to get ahead. So, and you can boost while invisible. So yeah, she's just very OP and still meta and still strong, still a great pick. So yeah, but yeah, she did get nerfed, but she's still strong. She's still strong. Alright, so the next character I'd say is the second strongest is Hans. Hans obviously is the best brawler, fastest character in the game. I feel like they use Hans as kind of like a benchmark of like, the high. King Candy's the lowest you can go. I guess like Hans is like the highest when it comes to speed. He has a lot going on for him. He has speed, he has high combat, he has invulnerability, aggro invulnerability where he can be invulnerable and hit you. And he doesn't have the best boost protection, but the fact that he's so fast, sometimes it can kind of make up for it. Like even if you run out of boost, unboosted, just driving, you're faster than some characters while boosted, so it kind of makes up for it. And he's so fast that even though he doesn't have the best handling, he can still kind of like get around the corners really quick. So yeah, he's just super meta. He can shoot arrows from behind. That's kind of like a blue shell. Get boosts off of those arrows. So yeah, Hans is still Hans. Well, last but not least, the best character in the game, the strongest, is Sally. Sally is just crack. Sally literally has everything you need to race it. It's her ability. Like a lot of the characters, they have slowdowns and whatnot, like Celia, Sadness, Kermit, and Angel, and others. But with her, she doesn't actually slow you down. She freezes you, so you're not able to use boost. You're not able to use items. You're not able to steer. You're not able to literally do anything once you get into her aura, and then she's able to get 2 boost bars. So there's literally nothing you can do. She's fast. She's a cloak defender, and she has a broken ability that can literally stop you from doing anything. So I didn't think there was gonna be like a character that could surpass Hans, but yeah, she's just way too strong. I can see her getting nerfed in the future, but it's crazy because when you combine her ability with her combat, it just makes it even worse. Yeah, I'll say in competitive and ranked. In ranked, you don't even need to get her to the highest level because you can literally be level 40 and just dominate. So yeah, Sally. I guess the only thing she doesn't have was pull away potential, but then again, like you can't really get past her because if she has her unique, if you try to get past her, she'll just freeze you, and then she can just take off with her boost. So I guess that's her pull away potential, but there's no counter to it. So Sally is S+ tier, the best character in the game, y'all. But yep, that is my season 10 Disney Speedstorm tier list. Right before season 11, or maybe depending on when you're watching this, season 11 has came out. But yeah, I'll be probably doing a tier list for the Incredibles characters, but I'll wait until they all come out so I can get my hands on them and kind of just see how each one is. But this is my tier list. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the tier list. Let me know what you think. Agree, disagree, your thoughts. So yeah, make sure you say all of that in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, so you don't miss another video. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid list, man. I think it's probably a solid list. But yeah, tell me what you think. But yeah, alright, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.